lineup for a good chunk of the year, but he has certainly made his arrival and is looking like the old Jacob Camacho from what we saw over the last couple of weeks of the regular season. We will have the 2 versus 3 matchup here on mat number 1. Colton Camacho and Cooper Flynn. Camacho broke up the seeds. He picked up a 5-2 tiebreaker win over Spencer Moore earlier today. So here is Camacho, the 6th seed, and we get our first look at Cooper Flynn, the 2 seed, Virginia Tech. Flynn, the redshirt freshman, Seymour, Tennessee. 4-0 in ACCs, including a tight 3-2 win over Camacho. This one should be a fun one with Colton Camacho, the veteran, frantically trying to find his way to punch his first ticket to the NCAA championships in a couple of weeks in Kansas City. A weight class with 2 automatic qualifiers. Really good freshman year when you look at Cooper Flynn. Quite a change for him. He was working out, planning on possibly utilizing an Olympic red shirt, participating at a USA Wrestling senior team camp in Colorado Springs. And the next week he was leading off in this Virginia Tech lineup. Eddie Ventresca, the All-American, the returning All-American for Tony Roby, he sustained an early season injury. So Flynn jumped in, and the Hokies have not missed a beat, one of the top wrestlers in the country.
That's one thing hearing Flynn's coach talk about, and they said they had to stop him from watching wrestling film. He was watching too much of it. He'd go to practice and he'd watch hours of wrestling film after that. They said, you know, you got to get away from it for a little bit. You got to turn your wrestling brain off. And I think that really, he said it himself, it really helped him mentally, right? Just to kind of not have those high expectations of himself. Just go out there and execute. Go out there, have fun, enjoy the process, enjoy the sport. When he does that, when he wrestles free, I mean, he's capable of so much. He's exciting to watch as a wrestler. So just to see him wrestling out there free with no pressure on himself, that's where he's his best.
Yeah, he said he rediscovered wrestling and made it fun again, and he credited a lot of that to the help of assistant coach Cody Brewer, along with his All-American teammate Sam Latona.
It just speaks of the connection that he has with his coaches and with that program, right? It's one thing to go to a school because of how many wins they got or what the record, the resumes, but you have to really connect with the coaches, with the system there. It's got to be a support base for you to where you know you can be successful, and he has that in Virginia Tech and the coaching staff there, as well as his teammates.
In fact, it was Brewer, his assistant coach, who was one of the guys who made him stop watching film once he left the room. Watching, as you talked about, hours and hours of wrestling a day. And Cody Brewer says, hey, once you leave this room, no more watching film.
I guess as a coach, that's a good problem that you would love to have with all your wrestlers, right? You got to pull them back. You're working too hard. You're studying too much.
So, very similar to the meeting between these two the last time they faced one another. Low scoring, and there is a good look at Cody Brewer, 5th year in Blacksburg, the national champion at Oklahoma. Won the 133-pound title back in 2015, 4-time All-American for the Sooners. And it was a nice addition for Roby a few years ago. Prior to Virginia Tech, was 3 years on the Northwestern staff, and he was largely responsible for the development of the 2-time All-American Sebastian Rivera during his time in Evanston. So Camacho to start the second period riding here. Let's see what he has on top. The 6th seed for Pitt. One final crack to qualify for the NCAA tournament. Just missed out last year in an at-large bid. A win here guarantees a spot to Kansas City.
That was a solid first mat return there by Camacho. He's pressuring forward, trying to keep the weight on Flynn's hands. Flynn's doing an excellent job. He keeps coming up. You see him again. Camacho just relentless with that pressure, dropping down to the ankle, driving forward. Starting to build up that riding time.
Flynn able to get away. 56 seconds for Colton Camacho. And a 1-0 lead for Cooper Flynn.
It's an excellent job there by Flynn, just keeping his balance on his feet, just staying calm, forcing Camacho in a position where he was dinging with stalling for holding on too long and not really making any attempt to return Flynn back to the mat. So way to keep wrestling through, just be smart, take your time, and you get awarded with the escape point there.
Look at Colton Camacho and his sudden victory win earlier today over Spencer Moore. Certainly a big moment for Pitt. The Panthers entering this semifinal round, sitting third. Anytime you get a win from your 6th seed, certainly pivotal. And Camacho obviously confident wrestling Cooper Flynn. He lost only 3-2 in the first go-around against the top 5 opponent in the country. So Camacho, you can see, has an air of confidence about him. Tony Roby, the 2-time ACC Coach of the Year. He's won it 4 of the last 7 years. And take a look at that shiner on his right eye. That's a beauty.
Wonder who he was wrestling to get that.
He led Virginia Tech to the ACC championship back in 2018. Trying to get the Hokies back on top here in 24. Camacho having no trouble. He is away, and it becomes a takedown match, tied at 1 here in this 3rd period. There's the first real true committed shot by Flynn. Camacho over the top, trying to barrel in those hips.
Good job so far by Camacho. See the heavy hips, he's stuffing the head, attacking the arms there, trying to break that lock of Flynn, and he's got the ankle, but Flynn's doing a good job of just wrestling through the position, pressuring forward. He's got that right leg pinned down. He's trying to cut across now. If he can shelf that leg, see right there, he's got it shelved up. He's in a good position. Now he's slowly, methodically working down those ankles. Great way to maneuver through that position there. That was a hard-fought and hard-earned takedown there for Flynn. Good job.
If he rushes that, he doesn't finish it.
Yeah, take your time in those positions, and it's back to the situations in the wrestling room, right? You're not always going to get those clean finishes that we love to drill in the practice room. You got to get nitty-gritty sometimes. Got to battle through. He had to fight for that one right there. Good job.
You talk about a wide open weight class. Of the 10 weights across the entire country, 125 has just been turbulent all year. We've had a number of ranking shuffles as far as new number ones each and every week. Flynn has a win against a previously number 1, and Nico Provo of Stanford beat him earlier in the year 5-2 to knock Provo out of the top spot. Come Kansas City, come 125, buckle up. It's anybody's guess.
A wild weight class this year, that's for sure.
.30 seconds to go. Camacho needs to get out quickly and then get back to work offensively on his feet, but Flynn has other plans in mind. Sticks in that claw. Camacho tried to roll. Good job there by Flynn to stay with him. Has that wrist controlled underneath, making life difficult for Camacho.
Excellent ride here by Flynn. He's covering up the hips, wrist control, staying smart, he's keeping his hips low and away. He knows where he's at, he knows the lead.
Very similar to the first time these two met. 3-2 a few weeks ago. Today, 4-2. And the seeds hold true to form as Jacob Camacho of NC State over on the other mat gets a fall. So it will be Camacho, NC State, Cooper Flynn, Virginia Tech wrestling for an ACC championship tonight. Speaking of Jacob Camacho, just a few moments ago, wrestling Agan of Duke.
Working from that front head cover, rolling through that position. He's got that elbow. Looks like he's still maneuvering. Great job here, just feeling the position, knowing that cement mixer was coming, dropping your hips down, keeping a wide base, capitalizing there. Your opponent tries to go big. There's an opening to counter. He countered, got a pin. Good job there. Way to get the bonus points for your team.
133, Kyorini, the top seed, NC State. We key in on 2 versus 3. Marlon Yarbrough, the future is now for the talented young Cavalier, taking on the veteran Sam Latona. Latona, the 3-time NCAA qualifier and 2-time All-American for the Hokies.
Cooper Flynn, Virginia Tech, 4-2.
What a year it's been for Marlon Yarbrough, the junior, state of Ohio, one of two seeds for Steve Garland and the Cavaliers. We'll watch Justin McCoy a little bit later on today. Yarbrough's been on a roll. He's won 4 of his last 5 matches. He beat Sam Latona, called it one of the top moments of his wrestling career. He beat Sam in the duel earlier this year, put up 15 points on the normally very stubborn Latona.
Yarbrough is so fun to watch on his feet. He's active, finding angles. He stays super low. He's got a terrific low double that he'll hit. You see right there, he's got that right hand down the mat, trying to find that angle. Latona's trying to match that level with his head, hands, and his hips. But let's see how that plays out later on in this match, right? You're always in good form, good technique at the beginning, good positioning, but as you start to wear down, you start to get a little bit lazy. Got to keep that discipline when you're tired. Let's see if he can maintain it. Right now, Yarbrough's just stalking.
These are 2 taller 133-pounders. Typically, when you look at a Sam Latona, his size always his advantage, but Yarbrough has that length to match Latona. Latona has that head buried underneath. Yarbrough able to clear it out of there, but doesn't want to stay there long.
Just putting the pressure there, trying to wear your opponents back down. So that'll pay dividends later on in the match if you can stay consistent with it. Right? You wear those back muscles out, they start to stand up a little bit higher. You have access to those long legs, you can fire off your shot. So you got to stay committed to that, stay heavy on that head, really work those back muscles out.
Marlon Yarbrough staying pretty much stationary in the center. You see Latona circling, trying to find his angle. 30 seconds here in this first period. Sam Latona, one of those wrestlers who always seems like he wrestles his best at the end of the year. When the lights are the brightest, that's when Latona is at his best. Entering today is the 3 seed, Latona. Picked up a win earlier over Raymond Adams of Duke, and we have a stalemate through 3 minutes. No score here in the semis at 133. You talk about a spectrum of a career when you look at Sam Latona and everything that he has been through. 6 years now on campus. He has one more year left if he chooses to use that. But he had the COVID year, then he was the 2 seed entering nationals at 13-0, and then he went to be in the number 28 seed. And he's been as high again as the 6th seed. So he's kind of been up and down all over the seeding process throughout his career. But one thing, as we talked about, consistent, he wins in the month of March. Trying to get out from underneath, Yarbrough with the ride.
Oh, it's an excellent job by Yarbrough in that top position. Latona hit a hard switch twice. Got covered up. We see stay consistent from bottom, right? And keep moving, keep that motion going. He's awarded there with the escape, but that was harder, and he had to work for it for quite a bit.
1-0 lead for Latona. 15 to go, second period. Latona coming off the second All-American showing at Nationals last year in Tulsa, placing 7th. Had a chance to talk with him earlier this year. He said he did not take a lot of time off his All-American run in Tulsa. He really has been one of those guys that doesn't like to take time away from the mat. Worked on his top wrestling a lot. We even saw him hook a couple of cradles earlier this year. Battle-tested veteran, keeping his body fresh for the stretch run.
See, both guys staying pretty patient in this neutral position. They're getting in the ties, no real hard snaps, not really. There's a slight little angle level change there for a shot, but kind of staying patient, just maintaining position.
Bring in our double box view. Bonus coverage from Chapel Hill on the right. The top seed is Kai Arini, a 3-0 lead on Santaniello of Pitt. Second period, inside a minute to go. Strong wait for the ACC. 3 automatic bids emerging by the time we close up shop later tonight. So Anthony, when you watch Marlon Yarbrough so far through the first 2 periods, what's it going to take to get to his offense? We haven't seen him really commit too much thus far.
He's just got to open up a little bit more. I think he's doing a good job of keeping his stance, right? He's got that hand down on the mat, that 3-point stance, but he's just kind of holding position. He's not really doing anything to initiate the action, trying to find those angles. We know he can be explosive. He's super fast when he wants to be, so I think he just needs to open up a little bit more, take some more chances, find that angle, get the motion you want, and fire off on there.
Arini creates a little more separation on the right. Another takedown, a 6-0 lead on Santaniello. While on the left, we're seeing some of that top wrestling that Latona said he's tried to work on this off-season. Rides him for 25 seconds. Riding time not a factor. Yarbrough gets the escape, and we're tied at 1. There has been a pipeline when you look at the state of Ohio to Charlottesville, Virginia. Victor Marcelli, one of those former Cavaliers who put a good word in to Marlon Yarbrough and say, yes, you want to go down to Virginia. You want to wrestle for Steve Garland. Had a really good season trying to punch his ticket. Opportunity to win his first ACC championship against Latona.
Really enjoyed talking to Coach Garland, just hearing him talk about his team and that wrestling program. He described it as just being a grinder, right? Just doing those things that are necessary to be successful as a team for your individual wrestlers, to build the program with the fundraising, with the recruiting, developing your wrestlers. He's truly committed to this program, and you can see it through those wrestlers. You know, they've had a kind of a bumpy road this year, but when they go out there, they're committed. They're working hard, and it's a very bright future for this group. Now that they're healthy, just going to keep that process moving along.
Stall call on Latona. Keep that in mind if this thing goes into sudden victory. Short time, 10 seconds to go. Not much as far as offensive attacks from either corner when looking at Yarbrough and Latona, and we go to the 2-minute sudden victory. First one to score wins. Little bluff right off the whistle by the junior from Virginia. And Latona trying to cut to the corner, cannot get there. The 2 wrestlers forehead to forehead. Yarbrough reaches. A bit more activity between these 2 now in this sudden victory period.
Yarbrough working the underhook on the right side, but just good defense right now. Latona almost had that angle, but we call it the windshield vipers, right? Getting those hands out as your opponent tries to circle, squaring up with them. Both guys opened up a little bit more, but they're keeping that defense up, so.
And it's really important for Latona. You saw him get hit with that stall call late in the 3rd period. And he's going to have to make sure he keeps his foot on the gas in this sudden victory session. Latona knows what it takes to win an ACC championship. He won the title in 2021, was a runner-up in 22, losing to Camacho. Both those years back at 25. He is up at 133 for the 2nd straight year. And to win his first title at this weight. Straight on double there, no luck for Yarbrough.
Both guys coming up a little bit higher in their stance now. That's going to give you that opportunity to get those shots and set them up better. Got to create that angle heavy on that head. Latona keeps going for those collar ties, but he's kind of just hanging there. See right there, again on that collar, working hand control. It's got to be a little bit more aggressive in those ties. Pressure, move your opponent around a little bit, create that angle.
Trying to get to the angle. Over the top goes Yarbrough. Latona now smothered underneath. And Marlon Yarbrough trying to clear out his right leg.
Yarbrough keeping those hips heavy. Latona's in a tough position right now on his belly, trying to keep those arms locked and build his base underneath him. But so Yarbrough with that right hand, you see how he's posting on that far leg, keeping his hips low and away, belly button down to the mat. Trying to create a stalemate.
Position right there and says, let's go to some tiebreakers. Flip of the disc comes up green, which is the color of Virginia, so it will be their choice. They want to go with this first tiebreaker, and he says, let's go underneath. So 2 30-second tiebreakers wrestled to their completion. Now Latona, I think, he might have wanted to dry off his arms there. He was signaling a little wet to wrestle, but the referee says let's get to action. Quick stand-up Yarbrough. Latona able to bring him down briefly. Now a sit out there by Yarbrough. Again, Latona stays with him.
An excellent job there by Yarbrough, bouncing back up, keeping his base underneath him. We call it those cat-like reflexes, right? See right there, awarded with the stall call.
We thought that might be a factor late. It comes into play here in the tiebreaker in a 2-1 lead.
You see just Yarbrough working from that bottom position, staying active, forcing Latona to be uncomfortable, right? Following those hips, drop down to that leg, ding for the stall there, but that all stemmed from the action from that bottom position, movement, create that motion. You dictate the match from bottom. You don't allow the top position to dominate you there.
So now it's Latona's turn. Can he get out from underneath? Quick stand up. Yarbrough cut off that. Right back up to his feet. Who wants it more here in the race to have a date in the ACC championship tonight?
Yarbrough with that tight waist claw. A little suck back action there. He's covering up those hips.
Now he sucks him right to his back. Latona squirts out, and he gets away with 2 seconds to go. Sam Latona with the escape. Garland onto the mat will drop the challenge brick. Look at disbelief on Garland. He thought that Yarbrough was in a pretty good position there, but Latona just kept moving underneath and able to kick his way to freedom and tie it up at 2 as they go to the table.
That was the key, that motion on bottom by Latona. See right there, a little cross base. Latona gets his hips back underneath, pushes away, gets an escape.
So Anthony, what's the challenge here? What did Garland spot that he disagreed with?
I'm wondering, are they trying to count the swipes right here? Right, with that little crossface, is that enough to get some near fall? I don't think it is. It was pretty quick.
Judging by the body language of Sam Latona, that last escape is going to be enough for him. And Virginia Tech wins as Latona rallies to punch his ticket into the finals tonight.
Match was kind of slow to start off, but an exciting finish. Both those guys battling through positions. High pressure situation there.
So some drama at 133, and Virginia Tech has a finalist. 141. We'll look at Ryan Jack, the 2 seed for NC State. Anytime you have the Wolfpack and the Hokies going head-to-head, the stakes are even higher when you look at the team implications. Tom Crook, a wrestler out of the state of Florida, ready to go. And here we go, semifinal at 141. Jack of NC State, Crook of Virginia Tech. Jack, the 2-time NCAA qualifier, 2-time ACC runner-up, both times losing to Cole Matthews, both times by just a point. Junior from Danbury, Connecticut. Tom Crook 0-2 against Jack in their previous meetings. 16-5 this year for the sophomore from Tampa, Florida, Tampa Jesuit.
Nice motion there by Jack, snapping that head, dropping in on that single leg. And he's coming up to his feet with it. So he's elbow deep right there behind the knee. Good defense so far by Crook. He's got that little shin whizzer going. He's pressuring in with those hips. Trying to square up his hips, separate there. There it is. Get the hip separation, square it up. Pushing that head down, trying to keep those hips low and away.
It's a really good start if you're Tom Crook. Jack was in deep. Those are shots that normally Ryan Jack finishes. Really good defense there by Crook, timing his jump on his 1 foot that was still grounded, avoiding the trip, and then, as you said, able to get a little separation.
It's one of the things that kind of takes the wind out of your opponent's sails there, right? Great, beautiful shot, fighting through, and still they're not awarded for the points. A lot of energy consumed there in that position, but good job fighting it off.
Tom Crook told me he always wanted to wrestle for Virginia Tech growing up in Florida. Second time, though, he's been under the fire here as Jack has that leg. Near the edge of the mat, switches to that second leg, now gets the trip, and this time he finishes, and Jack fires the opening salvo.
Excellent adjustment there by Jack. Right back in on the attack, learning from that first situation. He say, you know, I'm going to cut across that far hip now. Stay persistent. You shake it off. You didn't get the first time, that's fine. You don't lose the confidence in your attacks. Get right back to your offense. Keep creating those situations. Give yourself those opportunities to score.
Jack completed 3 of 1 straight ACC regular season duels. Crook 2-2. Jack enters this year's championship with an RPI of 4 and is ranked 4th in the country by the coaches at 141 pounds.
The bounds they go, 24 seconds as we go back to the takedown from Jack.
See Jack in on that single leg, putting the pressure, driving forward, getting Crook off balance. That's the key thing. Elevating that leg, getting Crook off balance, making him uncomfortable to finish that takedown.
Jack with 3 losses this year. Jesse Mendez got him from Ohio State. Was pinned in Nashville at the Journeyman Collegiate Duels. And then lost to Matthews at ACC's 15-10. There's a good look at big brother Kevin Jack, who was a 3-time All-American for the Wolfpack. Won 113 matches during his outstanding career in Raleigh. And Anthony, these two have talked about their relationship. What a special treasure to have a brother in the corner coaching you every step of the way through the good and the bad.
Absolutely, just having that relationship, that support system, someone who's been through it before, who understands how you're feeling through the ups and the downs, and can give you that support that you need. That's a tremendous thing. I know for me, I didn't have a brother on the team, but I had my family close by, and that was a huge support system. So to have your brother in your corner and an experienced brother who's an experienced wrestler, that's a great advantage for the Crook family. These brothers, special bond there.
And there's been some tough love throughout the years. Ryan Jack, big brother Kevin. Back to action as we start the second period. Jack back in, scoring opportunity, and he gets 3 more.
Jack, relentless pressure, had his head straight in the chest, driving forward on Crook. Another takedown. Relentless here. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Attacking, looking for bonus points now. So he's cinching up that cross wrist. He's got it all the way to the far hip. He's posting on the far leg. Wasn't quite able to get his hips underneath there, but I like the transition. Looking for the attack, looking for the tilt. See right there, coming up, head in the chest, driving forward, keeping control of both legs. Slowly climbing up the body.
Look at Pat Popolizio after that last exchange, having a brief word. He knows what's at stake. Both corners know. Again, when you get these opportunities to gain points against your biggest threat, you have to take advantage of it, both Virginia Tech and NC State. Wolfpack bench was given a warning after that last exchange. 7-2, Crook with the escape. Look at the development of Tom Crook. There's some talk that he might redshirt this year as Jack gets right back in. Outside single, trying to grab that far leg. Crook tried to hit a roll, and Jack just held position. Beautiful.
Excellent job there by Jack, just staying low as he was reaching across to tap that far knee, keeping the pressure. And his positioning, it's just the positioning he's able to do, maneuvering through the position as Crook is really fending off quite well. He's got some good defense, but Jack is taking his time. That's critical, that technique, clean technique against your opponents. You don't want to be fast and sloppy, slow and steady, keep that control, and that's what he's doing right now.
Jack with a comfortable lead, up 10-3. 30 seconds remaining here in period number 2. He has been really sharp. Here's Crook, maybe with an opportunity to get his first offense, but he runs out of room, and now they hit Jack with a stall call, leaving the mat there, and that's the second time they've hit Jack with a stall, so that should be a point for Crook, and it is.
Some good counter wrestling on the edge of the mat there by Crook, dropping on that leg, and obviously the fans don't like the calls you can hear, but I mean, Jack was scooting pretty much off the mat. He wasn't trying to defend anymore. He was just trying to escape that position. So, do agree with the
coverage over on mat number 2, semifinal, Lackland McNeil. Again, we talked about it, maybe the most dangerous 4 seed in all of college wrestling here at these ACCs, and a 1-0 lead on Cole Matthews, the Pit, who has been king of this conference the last few years. Matthews gets the escape, so they're tied at 1. Riding time not a factor.
That's the power of Matthews there on that escape. Right away, exploded up to his feet, turned those hips in. That's how you steal the first move there. Up and out quickly.
Matthews looking for his 3rd consecutive ACC championship. He's been in a few of these low-scoring 1-point matches, and normally they come out in his favor. We'll see what the next 60 seconds hold over on the right. Meanwhile, Jack is dialing up offense after offense. 3 more, and now an 8-point lead. Commanding advantage over Crook of Virginia Tech.
Very technical right there by Jack. Stuffing that takedown attempt of Crook. Head, hands, finding an angle on the leg. Getting that crossbody for the takedown. Wrestling through the positions. Very technical in this match. Very impressed.
Jack seemingly in control with the large lead. We key in on mat 2. Our bonus coverage tied at 1. Down the home stretch we go. 30 seconds. Shot by McNeil. Matthews unable to counter. McNeil still trying to get into that high C area. It has been Matthews and Jack wrestling for an ACC title the last 2 seasons. Jack in a position to get back into the finals. Matthews in a dogfight with McNeil as we go to sudden victory.
Goes to extra wrestling on mat 2. Cole Matthews of Pitt, the top seed.
Quick taps by Matthews, often used as a measuring stick. Tried to find a leg. McNeil disappears on him. Jack approaching 2 minutes of riding time. He is in bonus point territory for North Carolina State. He's going to drag Crook back in where he can eat up some more of this clock. Now has riding time secured. Meanwhile, on the right, 46 seconds in, sudden victory, no change, McNeil and Matthews.
Matthews trying to dig in that left side underhook. McNeil's doing an excellent job keeping his hips away, so he's posting on that chest, keeping good head position, clearing out of that tie.
Low shot by McNeil, but here's where Matthews is so comfortable, has to watch out for that neutral danger, but never broke the plane there. Matthews anchoring down on the leg, back into the stand-up, now goes behind and gets the three, and Cole Matthews, like he has his entire career, finds a way to win the close matches.
Impressive counter wrestling there by Matthews. You know, looked like a nice little initial shot, but way to take control of the situation. Maintain your composure, keep your balance. You see right there, Matthews coming out from the back, getting his hips underneath him, taking over that position and attacking. Way to finish.
So for the third straight year, we get Matthews and Jack for ACC supremacy tonight.
His opponent will be Ryan Jack of NC State.
149 pounds. The 3 seed is North Carolina's Jaden Scott. He put up double digits in his win earlier today. There is Jackson Arrington, seated second, a top 5 wrestler in the country. Caleb Hinson, the top seed. This is a weight class, Anthony, when you look at the top 2 wrestlers as far as seeding goes with Hinson and Arrington. The future is certainly now for these 2 guys, but the future is certainly bright for the ACC with these 2 and the remaining years they have left.
Talent coming through, that's for sure. And these guys got some offense. You see right now, Arrington's working that right side underhook. He's not afraid to go upper body. He can be extremely dangerous. He's got some throw bys. He's right there, clearing that tie, getting down to his legs. Expecting some fireworks in this match.
Just like the Hidley brothers for North Carolina State, Jackson Arrington made his way from the state of Pennsylvania, Forest Hills High School. NCAA qualifier from a season ago has simply just got better this year. He had a strong run at Nationals. He went 3-2, reached the round of 12, which means you're 1 match away from the podium. Lost to Yanni Diakomahalis. Mahler got him from Missouri as well. Those were his 2 losses in Tulsa. (16-3) mark, including 4-2 against ranked opponents.
Nice little snap down there by Arrington. He's still working that right side underhook. Snapping Scott down to his knees. Really controlling the ties right now with that underhook. If I'm Scott, I need to clear out of that. Arrington dropping in on that single leg. He's got it shelf. Working back to center to get some more space. But Scott counter wrestling here. So he's got the wizard, but he's trying to lean in and attack those hands. Arrington's doing a good job. He's taking his time here. He's got that leg elevated up in the armpit, controlling the ankles. He's right there. He's working up across the knee. And that was the key right there. He worked up to the knee. That brought him a little bit closer, gave him that extra length that he needed to go for that far trip there. So way to stay composed. Secure the leg that you have first. Put it deep in that armpit. Climb up that leg. Then get your takedown. Positioning first. Takedown comes because of it. And Arrington working through that position. He's got the leg. Hooked that knee. That gave him that extra length and went for that far trip. Good job there.
Following his victory earlier today in the first round, Jaden Scott of North Carolina, the redshirt freshman, now 16.
Right by Arrington, up 3-0, 2 minutes into this opening period.
It has a coach's handle rating of 32.
We were talking to Adam Hall earlier this year, and he said Jackson Arrington just an absolute hammer on top. One of the most aggressive wrestlers in the room. Hall was laughing. He nearly had his arms ripped off in practice. He was still sore a couple of days after those 2 wrestled around. Arrington just is so much bigger, he's stronger, he's faster. this season. He added close to 10 pounds of muscle this offseason. Legitimate national championship contender, leading 3-1 here in this first period. 15 seconds remaining.
Scott with that single leg attempt, but just kind of no real setup there. He's still tied up with Arrington. The head-hands defense is still there. There's no angle, so you're not really going to have too good of a chance to finish that shot. Needs to clear that tie a little bit better, find the angle.
Look at Adam Hall, the two-time All-American Pac-10 champion back in the day for Boise State. 22 matches. He was a four-time NCAA qualifier, and we want to wish him the best as he gets ready to head west. Utah Valley and the Green Wolverines. He was named the head coach. He will make that move to Utah directly following NCAA championships in Kansas City, and we both were talking about it earlier. He is going to have a lot of success. He is one of the great minds, great technicians of the sport.
I'm excited to see what he does with that program. The Wolverines are going to be in good hands, that's for sure.
Talking to Pat Papalizio about losing Adam Hall, and he said he figured the moment would come where that opportunity would present itself, and he wants everyone in his staff to aspire to be a head coach. Certainly he will be missed, but we wish him the best. Utah Valley. There's the escape. Arrington a 4-1 lead.
Scott's got a nice straight-on double. Looks like Arrington's doing a good job of just being disciplined and preparing for that. You see he's keeping that right hand down on the mat, keeping that post. That's the first line of defense against that double leg. So if I'm Scott, I got to do a little bit more setup, right? I got to just kind of snap that head a little bit, force Arrington to bring those hands off the mat, then set it. Maybe do a post double, change it up just a little bit, because you're just trying to hit it straight on from space. Arrington's going to be waiting for that all day long as to keep that hand low. See, again, posting that hand down, staying disciplined. You got to move your opponent around a little bit if you want that takedown attempt.
Arrington with that long reach. He captures a leg, looking for that trip. Now he loses his balance a little bit. Scott unable to capitalize because Arrington still has control of his left leg. The waterfall right over the top. And Anthony, here's a situation where for Jackson Arrington, how do you finish this three?
Well, first thing Arrington did, which was crucial, he popped his head underneath that leg, elevated it up, came across to the back door, cut across those hips. He maneuvered through that position. A lot of wrestlers will get uncomfortable there. They kind of stop moving and try to stalemate it out. Arrington did not hesitate. Immediately, he just kind of flowed through the position. That was a difference there. Flowing through, getting that head up and out, back door to control those hips. Good job there.
Arrington content to ride out the final few moments. A 7-1 lead heading to the third, thanks in large part to this last exchange.
See, Arrington tucked his head underneath that leg, kept his head high, chest out, slowly turned it in towards the far side, keeping his hips low and underneath him, circled behind. You see, he controlled that arm, circled behind, covered up for the takedown. Great job there, great maneuvering through the position.
The regular season champions from Raleigh looking the part so far in this semifinal round. Camacho a fall, Arini a win, Jack a win, and now Arrington taking care of business. 7-1 lead over Scott. Scott with the quick escape. Arrington leading 7-2. We go to the top-seeded wrestler, Caleb Henson of Virginia Tech. He has a 4-1 lead on Finn Solomon of Pitt. Inside a minute to go, third period. So Anthony, Solomon has been able to keep the pace down, control the tempo a little bit. Henson known for his offense. Solomon wrestling him tough here today.
Solomon trying to be stingy with the points. That was a tough little situation there. He stayed tight around Henson, was not allowing easy points there. Way to battle through, get back up to your feet. Get back to the positions that you're comfortable in.
Look at the year that Caleb Hinson has had for Virginia Tech. 24-1. He has allowed only 2 takedowns in his last 9 bouts. Only loss this year was to Rich Lovett back at the Keene Invite, and that was all the way back on December 1st.
So Hinson slowly moving on that leg. Oh, beautiful limp arm out there. It all started with a little counter shot. It looked like Solomon was kind of doing a little stutter step. Hinson dropped down to that ankle, put his elbow down to the mat. Clutch finish there.
8-1 for Caleb Hinson, looking to defend his ACC title from his freshman year a season ago.
Arrington still on the attack, shuffling that leg, covering up the far hip for another takedown. Here at the end of this third period, but he is staying on the attack. Way to stay aggressive, keep building on that lead.
So we will have the collision course that everyone wanted to see tonight under the lights. ACC Network, 7 o'clock Eastern. The finals, and at 1:49, 2 of the best in the land will go at it one more time with these 2 outstanding true sophomores, and Caleb Hinson and Jackson Arrington. Another bonus point as well for North Carolina State. Major decision win for Arrington, 11-2 over Jaden Scott. NC State makes it a perfect 4 for 4. They'll look to go 5 for 5 with Ed Scott, the 2 seed. And this might be the matchup of this entire semifinal round as Scott gets laced up to take on Bryce Indonian. The top seed is Sonny Santiago for North Carolina. Scott and Indonian, a lot of history with these two, and here we go. Bryce Indonian, the 4-time NCAA qualifier. 2-time All-American, taking on Ed Scott, who won an ACC championship 2 years ago. Lost to Indonian in the ACC finals last year, 15-9.
So Scott working that left side underhook right now, trying to jack it up into the leg. Nice job there finding the angle. Hooking that bottom leg of Indonian. If he can pop his head out, he's in good position. He's got to take his time. So he's stretching out that top leg by the ankle. His head's out. He's got to keep turning those hips down. Keep pressuring into Indonian. He's got the bottom leg stretched out still. Looks like he's trying to put Indonian in danger here. He's got to keep moving through this position.
Scott keeps the weight on the toes, keeps driving forward, and gets the 3.
Excellent job there by Scott, just controlling those hips, working through the position. We know what Indonian can do. You see right there. Quick reversal. Looked like Scott relaxed just a little bit. He said, okay, I got my takedown. I can kind of get my bearings underneath me, but Indonian battled through. He said, no, we're not done yet. Let's keep going here. Way to respond, giving up that early takedown by Indonian.
Oh, isn't it great to have Bryce Indonian back in the mix? Mr. Excitement. His last action was more than 2 months ago. He was injured January 7th in the match with Meyer Shamiro. Missed 2 months of the year with the lower leg injury. You see the big brace on his right leg. Always had that one goal of returning today and an opportunity, one last run. The always exciting Bryce Indonian. 4-2, Ed Scott with the lead. Cross over the halfway point, period 1.
Indonian's record now stands at 15-4 this year for Virginia Tech.
2 straight All-American runs for Indonian. Scott off that front headlock. Look at the counter here by Indonian. Look at this scramble. Still nothing awarded yet.
So batting through the positions here. Way to get your hips underneath by Indonian. Trying to get that belly button down to the mat. He's posturing, posting on those hips of Scott. A lot of action in that sequence.
I mean, both wrestlers could have made a case they're going to get 3 on that last exchange. Andonian 2 years ago placed 3rd. That was down at 149. Last year he placed 7th at 157. He went 4-2.
3 minutes of neutral wrestling in the books. Wrestling ready to flip to first to later on. Santiago. The juice down from the target.
15 seconds. Short time. First period that has not disappointed between these two who know each other quite well.
Sonny Santiago, redshirt junior from Downey, California, earns 1 point escape from the Tar Heels. They're back to neutral on that too. His regular season record, 13-7 overall, 4-1 in conference duels.
All right, let's go and pay a visit to each corner, Anthony. Let's start with Scott. After 3 minutes, his keys to a victory in this semifinal.
Scott, he's got some good upper body ties. He's got a nice little head pinch that he does, but he's got to work those ties a little bit more, be aggressive. We saw his offense that he can dial up, right? But we also know that Andonian can scramble pretty well, so he's just got to be careful. He's got to wrestle through the positions and be disciplined, because a guy like Andonian, he'll make you pay. If you hesitate for a second, if you come out of position, he will capitalize on it. So if I'm Scott, get to my ties, get to my setups, but be disciplined with the finish.
And then conversely for Andonian.
Andonian, he's just got to keep doing what he does. I mean, he's dangerous in all positions. Doesn't matter what the position is, whether it's top, bottom, as we just saw. He can create reversals. He can create situations, little skirmishes. So if I'm Andonian, just battle through the positions like I know how to do. Wrestle free, but we'll see how limited he is with that injury. So, yes, he's back, but is he 100%? How is he with his movement? How comfortable is he mentally with getting in those positions and letting himself go?
Andonian beat Scott last year, but Bryce came up just short of winning an ACC championship. In fact, he's a 4-time ACC runner-up. So this is a big moment for him. He has accomplished so much in his career. He would love to go out on top here in the ACC. So he lost to Austin O'Connor last year, 6-5. In fact, lost to O'Connor 3 times in these ACC tournaments, and then lost to Tariq Wilson of NC State. Down a point. It's a different Wolfpack wrestler in his way today in Ed Scott.
3 points on the North Carolina takedown from Sonny Santiago, quickly followed by the escape from Pitt's Jared Kessler.
See Andonian right now. It looks like he's just holding position really well, right? He's keeping his head, hands, defense in play, working the ties, but not really initiating the angles and setups for his shots. It seems like he's looking more for a counter right now, waiting for Scott to initiate the attack, and then he'll kind of steal away that position. So we'll see if that pays off for him or if he's going to kind of dial it up more with his pressure.
You get the feeling it's the calm before the storm here for the final 2 minutes.
I'm afraid to blink. I don't want to miss it.
Somewhat of a quiet second period, and now we get ready for period 3. Meanwhile, Sonny Santiago, the top seed, a 4-2 lead on Jared Kessler at Pitt. Santiago, like his teammate, Lachlan McNeil, has had a busy month. He too tried to punch his ticket to the Olympic Games in Acapulco at the Pan Ams. Scott, no trouble getting out from underneath, and now we have a stoppage. And it looks like maybe a clock issue with Scott and Andonian. So there will be a delay there as they get it straightened out. Meanwhile, on the right, Santiago has really blossomed into one of the top wrestlers here at this weight, at 157. Really thriving this year. Put it all together. He stayed healthy. He's always been an exceptional freestyle wrestler, but has carried that success over to the college landscape this season. Looks like it's an issue with riding time. That's what's causing the delay with Scott and Andonian.
Kessler really pressing forward right now, trying to work his underhooks, clearing the ties. Santiago's just holding great position, keeping his hips away, good head, hands defense, circling back to the center.
Scott in on a low shot. Has that leg, but Andonian so dangerous in these positions. Getting a little bit high, and there's the three. Scott gets the takedown. Andonian tried to hit a roll immediately. Scott stuck with him.
Excellent job, Scott, keeping his balance, keeping his hips low. Squaring back up, not allowing Andonian to suck him down that rabbit hole of the scramble situations. Way to be disciplined. That's exactly what I was talking about, right? You get your attack, but you got to focus on that finish. What's your positioning going to be like? Andonian was clearly waiting for that. He was trying to take the situation, but Scott seized the opportunity and he finished strong. That was the key, finishing strong through the position.
Sonny Santiago wins 4-2, so now he awaits the final 60 seconds to play out. Scott right back into the offense, and he gets three more, and he starts to create a little separation. And this large crowd from NC State suddenly being heard.
Excellent match by Scott. He was aggressive early, wrestled smart. There's certain situations that would be really scary for a lot of wrestlers, scrambled through it. Maintained his composure. Great strategy, way to execute out there.
Again, keep in mind when you look at 157, only 2 automatic qualifiers from the ACC. Ed Scott will be back into the finals after a hiatus a year ago. And NC State certainly flexing their muscles this afternoon. The champion from 2022 is back into the finals as he handles an old nemesis in Bryce Andonian. And another bonus point as well along the way to the delight of the red in attendance here today. 14-5, Ed Scott. Holden Heller, a Pitt 2 seed. His opponent will be Virginia Tech's Connor Brady.
The top half of the bracket, the top seed from NC State, Derek Fields.
Brady, the ACC runner-up last year, losing to McCoy. Redshirt junior out of Powell, Ohio, Liberty High School. 3-time NCAA qualifier. He was very consistent throughout his time in Blacksburg. Looking to reach the podium for the first time come Kansas City in a couple of weeks. He went 1-2 at Nationals last year, 1-2 in 22, and made his initial NCAA tournament appearance in 2021. Second year for Brady at 165 after bumping up from 157. Brady's only blemish in ACC competition was to Holden Heller. Heller beat him 11-5.
Brady's working that collar tie on his right side. He's got a nice high seat to his left. Looks like he's trying to set it up with that tricep, trying to create the angle. That's what I'm looking for as this match goes on. Can he set that go-to shot up? Capitalize on it. We'll see.
So I'm dying to know, Anthony, as you watch film on Holden Heller of Pitt, what were your thoughts on his flexibility? As you see, he's going to have to show some flexibility. Brady caught him. Heller trying to bridge up and get out of harm's way. And it looks like he's avoided the initial wave of danger as far as giving up the fall. Connor Brady caught him. And a 3-0 lead, so hold that thought. Let's see how this pans out for the redshirt junior.
Excellent job there by Brady, scoring big and early in this match. He's got the bundle there, got both arms locked up. He's just working through the position now, but way to build the lead early in this match.
Big moment right there, uncorked by Brady. Had them all bundled up underneath in a 7-0 lead. And Holden Heller is away. Oh, that's what makes this time of the year so fun.
Comes to Chapel Hill, RPI
Well, just watching Heller in the practice, you mentioned what's he all about. I mean, this guy, just watching him practice, and I love the matches, the positions that he's able to get in, that flexibility is just incredible. I mean, I'm in pain just watching him. So Heller, you know, he's given us some big points early in this match, but let's see if he can get to those positions. Let's see if he can make himself dangerous. See, right now he's working that 2-on-1. He's got some abilities there with those upper body ties. He can go for some throws, some tosses. Can he dial that up now?
Mentioned the flexibility. Pete Gavin said he's built like a gummy doll. And we asked Holden about his unique ability to get his joints in positions that you just can't humanly imagine. Go back to the takedown here in the whip over.
Excellent job there. It's just straight power. Hitting that whip over, keeping those hips low, securing that elbow. It's like our coach used to say, sometimes you got to get strong in certain positions, and right there, Brady got strong.
And a good, strong start by Brady off the whistle. He gets away. Connor Brady behind a barrage in the first period, building an 8-1 lead. Going back to Holden Heller, we were talking with him. He says he credits his father for putting a lot of focus on flexibility and the importance of hips. Extensive judo background. He was introduced to judo at a young age. And anybody who follows that style knows that a lot of the focus is on the hips and those upper body tie-ups we were talking about. Buried underneath. Brady steering the ship here with his right arm under a hook. Heller had the opposite side wrist. The official says nothing can come of it. Let's restart.
It's good head-hands defense there by Brady. Still working in the center there, controlling that front head. Controlling the pace of this match. Heller's, you know, initially some attacks here and there, but no real setups with it, right? They can't find that angle, and Brady's just capitalizing. Control. Front head, control, putting the pressure down.
See the space that Brady was working from, and because of that, just as I say that, the referee tags him with a stall. First stalling call on Connor Brady, who leads by 7. 20 seconds to go, second period. Tony Roby, Cody Brewer, and the Virginia Tech corner have to be really happy with the body of work so far from Brady through the first couple of periods. Won't do anything silly late here. Final few moments of the second period winds down. A 7-point lead. This could be a big shot in the arm for the championship hopes for Virginia Tech. Bonus coverage as we key in on mat number 2, and it's a low-scoring affair through one period. Hamilton with a 1-0 lead on the top seed. Derek Fields of NC State. I think I made the comment to Anthony watching Nick Hamilton wrestle earlier in the opening round. It just looked like a different Nick Hamilton. He was flying around. Looked really good. He's carried that over into the semifinal.
Some guys turn it on in the right time. This is the right time to do it. This is what you train for all year round, right? You got to execute when it matters under the lights. This is your time to shine.
Brady, ever since he had that whip over and that, in essence, 7-point exchange, he has controlled the tempo of this match beautifully.
He's really wrestling intelligently in this match. He's controlling the front head cover right there. So he's just kind of slowly bringing out the clock, keep circling the center, not allowing any opportunities for Heller to get any big points, right? So, okay, you know, if you want to win this, you're going to have to dig yourself out point by point, little by little. But he's staying there, holding great position. Wrestling smart here, discipline.
And by doing that, he's avoided the scramble positions where Heller is just lethal. Calculated, scouted out approach from Virginia Tech, and it's working thus far.
They're very smart. You respect your opponent's capabilities and you maneuver your strategy around it, and that's what Brady did. Scored a lot of points in that early on in this match. Said, okay, no, I'm going to wrestle smart, stay away from Heller's strength, respect what he's capable of, hold that position.
Virginia Tech has to be loving this two-box view right now of what they're seeing. Their wrestler in control, 8-3. Their threat in NC State in the team race in a battle with Hamilton of UVA. 1-1, 25 seconds to go. Riding time, by the way, on our two-box view for the right side, not a factor. So could we be heading to sudden victory with Fields and Hamilton? And that is going to be it for Brady. 9-3, Connor Brady with the win for Virginia Tech. He punches his ticket into the finals tonight. 165. Brady advances, and who will it be? Will it be Nick Hamilton, the 4 seed, or will it be Derek Fields of North Carolina State? 2 minutes, sudden victory.
Hamilton's definitely picking up his pace now, trying to find that angle for his shot. Pressing forward, looks like he wants to finish this matchup on the feet.
Hamilton chose Virginia over Cornell. He was a 3-time state champion, winning 2 titles in Nebraska, won his first title in the state of Iowa. Here he's on the offense. Low shot on Fields near the edge.
Hamilton working to suck that leg in. Just trying to keep his toes in bounds on that ankle.
It's carried out of bounds. Fields knew he had a stall call to give and thought that was a pretty good spot just to scoot to safety.
If I'm Hamilton, I got to keep that in my mental bank, right? My opponent's already been one for stalling. I got to keep that pressure, wrestle smart, but keep pressuring forward, get those half shots going, some little fakes here and there. Maintain my attacks because I know Fields is back against the wall now.
Virginia trying to work their first wrestler into the finals tonight. Nick Hamilton talked about his high school days. Here he gets caught underneath. Fields that front headlock position. Hamilton slowly trying to scoot his way near the edge, and he gets out of bounds for a restart.
Kind of a diving shot there by Hamilton. He's got to be careful. Right? Fields has a lot of offense. We don't want to give him that easy front head cover position. An opportunity for those counter attacks. So if I'm Hamilton, yes, increase the attacks here. Keep going with them, but set it up better. Don't just be diving in, taking sloppy shots.
Hamilton tried to get around on a reshot of his own. Hamilton taking territory toward the end of this sudden victory. 27 seconds to go. Fields tries to bunker in with both knees onto the mat. Again, Hamilton swipes at an ankle. Certainly it is Nick Hamilton bringing the fight to Derek Fields over the latter half of this sudden victory. I think you have a couple of exhausted wrestlers right now. In the center with 7 seconds, down to 5. And we are going to head into the 2 30-second tiebreakers.
This is where that technique comes into play when you're grinding in that wrestling room. How do you perform when you're tired? Where is that technique at? When you're tired, you still need to be able to execute at that optimum level. So this is what you train for and why you step outside of that comfort zone in that wrestling room.
But the disc comes up red. Fields' choice. Adam Ball says defer. Nick Hamilton on the direction from Coach Polson says let's go underneath. 30 seconds wrestled to its entirety. The ability to ride come March. Top wrestling, Derek Fields. Frantically hanging on. And the continuation of action out of bounds. And the Virginia bench upset.
Some good movement there by Hamilton, but way to chase by Fields in that top position. Uncomfortable, was able to get in that front head cover, get a fresh start here. He's got to finish shot on top. 17 seconds, can he ride him out?
And there's the one. 19 15 seconds of riding time for Fields. Hamilton able to get away. And now let's see what Fields has in store underneath and what he can do. Adam Hall, Pat Papalizio. Virginia Tech has already secured their ticket to the finals. Quick stand up, mat return, Hamilton back up to the feet. Fields trying to rip at that low grip. Hamilton stays with it. Latched onto the legs, needs to improve, Anthony, needs to work his way up the body, and he does in the nick of time. Textbook work there by Nick Hamilton.
Excellent job there by Hamilton, scratching and clawing his way back up. Stingy ride, it's not gonna be pretty sometimes, but you gotta battle through it. Hamilton's doing that right now. Looks like the challenge bit's been thrown out.
So both of these wrestlers will get the welcomed opportunity at some oxygen as they issued a challenge, the challenge coming from NC State. Papalizio wanting the officials to take a look to see if his wrestler Fields indeed did get away here. You be the judge as we get another look at it.
Hamilton working up the body, up towards the hips. I don't see any escape there. I mean, Hamilton followed through. So he's climbing that body like a rope. There wasn't any escape, in my opinion, for Fields. So great motion on the bottom position, but he just ran out of room. I think if you would have had a little bit more mat, see right there, he's peeling his hands, but they're both out of bounds clearly. No change, I don't see it.
Good job by our officiating crew coming together. No escape. Original call stands. We go back to work. 14 seconds remaining in this second tiebreaker. Fields into a quick stand-up. You see the strength of Hamilton, traps the arm and brings him right back down. And now Hamilton has the riding time advantage. He's going to hold serve here. Final two. One more mat return for good measure. And Virginia's Nick Hamilton is into the finals.
Gonna grind through there by Hamilton. This is a battle. Fields brought it, but Hamilton, hats out to him. Every single position, you gotta fight, you gotta battle, even when you're tired. That's all heart right there. Great match.
He has overcome so much, especially from his younger days in high school. He lost his father in high school. And now a moment to celebrate for Nick Hamilton as he punches his way into the finals. We go to 174. Right back to it with the Virginia Cavaliers and Justin McCoy. He knows what it takes to win an ACC title. He's never done it here. A little bit of uncharted territory, bumping up from his 165 to 174 for the first time in his career, taking on the Stanford transfer, Tyler Eichens.
So right away, Eichens working those upper body ties. That's exactly where he wants to be. McCoy on the other side, he's got some pretty good takedown attempts. He's got some offense on his feet. He's got a nice little drop down double that he can hit. A nice little swing single to his right side. So he wants to operate a little bit more from space, not so much those upper body ties. So kind of a clash in styles here. Let's see what can happen.
Yeah, you look at Justin McCoy and his body of work, his resume from his time in Charlottesville. The word that pops right to the front of the mind is athlete. He is one of the most athletic. He's going to have to showcase some athleticism here. Eichens in on the initial shot. The two roll through. Scramble continues. Another roll through.
See, Eichens has both legs secure there. He's got the far leg shelved up. Driving into McCoy. Got to get those hips low, circle into his right. Beautiful job there, maneuvering through that situation. McCoy tried to create a scramble with that roll through. Eichens just stayed composed, kept his balance, kept his hips underneath him. Methodically controlled that situation. And I like how he set that takedown up as well. Kind of a clubbed that left side, dropped in on that leg. Way to change it up. You start upper body, adjust, throw some different things at your opponent. Keep him guessing.
23rd by the coaches.
With the ride near the edge.
And another century mark
Crossbody look. Tyler Eichen's on top, leading 3-0. So much experience with Eichens, just can't keep his toe in bounds to get a possible count. But yeah, this is a guy who has wrestled pretty much every level of the way when you talk about experience and where he's come from. 3-time NCAA qualifier, all 3 of those wrestling for the Cardinal with Stanford on the West Coast. Matt Large birth a year ago, went 1-2 at Nationals. He's won a Pac-12 championship in his career, called it one of the most significant moments of his life. And again, this is a guy that has had success on the international side with Greco-Roman as well. Will he be both a Pac-12 and ACC champion? We'll find out by the end of the day today.
Eichen's locking up that cross wrist. So he's driving into it, trying to elevate that leg. Great job of maintaining pressure from that top position. So he's hooked that far, the near leg there, pressuring forward, attacking wrists, keeping your opponent uncomfortable from that bottom position.
Justin McCoy, 13 seconds to try to get out from underneath. Rob Cole scripting up a perfect first period. Tyler Eichens. McCoy was going to hit that quick stand up. He did, and he gets away. So McCoy with the point. Well done by the veteran and the reigning ACC champ. And a 2-point deficit through 3 minutes.
See Eichen's right there, in on that leg, working through the scramble situation. See the little roll, keeping his hips low, flowing through the position, hooking the leg, pressuring forward, way to maneuver through, not allow yourself to get sucked into the scramble. Stay where you're comfortable, follow through. Great job there. But also excellent escape there by McCoy. 13 seconds left in that period. That's clutch. That keeps you in the match, right? You have to have that short-term memory. You go out of balance. You use those fresh starts to your advantage. He exploded there. Still a close match. He's looking for a reversal here, potentially.
Mr. McCoy has had his share of reversals throughout his time. This is where he's really good. These athletic scramble-type situations, and he gets the 2 to tie it up at 3.
Excellent job there, McCoy. Finished the first period with that escape, now a reversal. He's starting to pick up the momentum in this match.
Just tons of experience with these 2 guys. We talked about Eichen's 5 years at Stanford, his final run now in Chapel Hill. Same could be said for Justin McCoy. His 6th year of competing, all of them with the Cavaliers. Now he'll try to hang on to this ride for a little bit, try to get that riding time back under a minute that Eichen's had built in the first period. Challenge brick coming in from Cole in North Carolina.
Lewis, a 7th-year senior from Somerset, New Jersey, 13-0 this year, 5-0 in the ACC. As ranked 2nd.
North Carolina, Anthony, with that brick.
Lewis, the national champion.
Just trying to figure out and replay in my mind what they possibly spotted to get the brick tossed.
Including twice defending number 174.
Maybe potentially dangerous once we get into the stand-up here.
Two-time ACC Wrestler of the Year. Taking on the returning ACC runner-up in NCAA.
Really hard to tell from this angle. I can't see it. Came off with both feet and hooked that inside of the leg.
I think that's going to be it.
That right leg coming off the mat.
Watch, he leaves it right there. Yeah, that's going to be a point. And they have reached that decision. So McCoy with that second foot leaving the mat, curling around Ishins. Good job there by the North Carolina corner to spot that. Well, Ishins goes up 4-3. With that, it's his choice as well. He says underneath, he'll try to get that escape point. He continues to ride. Just as Ishins made his move, the wrestlers twirl their way out of bounds.
That was a solid call by the coaching staff for North Carolina, but also that was a good break, I believe, for Ishins. It looked like he was kind of breathing a little bit heavy there. We mentioned his Greco background, how he'd been training that. That's a different pace. That's a different type of conditioning. So for him to come into this and the collegiate style, it can take a while to get those lungs underneath you. So for Ishins to get that break, you can see right now, he's got that wind under his sails again. Second burst of energy coming.
That big Granby hit by Ishins. McCoy stubborn, not letting go. Cartwheels his way, has the leg steered and out of bounds. 18 seconds. First year at 174 for Justin McCoy. He's wrestled 157, he's wrestled 65, and now for the first time at 174. Coach Enoch over there for North Carolina. I think this is going to go to a possible count, sticking,
counting on the
not
legs.
improving the position, moving up the body. I'm just speculating on that, but I got to believe that's what it is.
I agree with you.
North Carolina has
Again, just watching Ishins right now, deep breaths, trying to get that composure underneath him, that burst of energy.
It's been a busy review panel here today, and in particular this semifinal at 174 pounds. Take a look at what they're looking at here. One swipe, two swipe, three swipe, four. And just as he got ready to go with that fifth swipe, he held up.
Yep.
Virginia has one finalist. Well, the Cavaliers have two. Justin McCoy, the most experienced in their lineup. Changed up his routine this season. Well, being a sixth-year guy, it's certainly been a tough year physically for him. He backed off at times this year, something he's never really done in the past. He tried to be smart, is the way he described it, really for the first time in his career, and managing his body. In the past, he just tried to plow through it. You can relate to this, but this year, when the body was not cooperating, he shut things down.
Sometimes you got to work smarter, not harder. And wrestling kind of ages your body in dog years, so got to be able to adjust.
So Cole in North Carolina is 2 for 2 with their challenges. And Ishins goes up 5-3 in the mastermind. Cole delivering his North Carolina magic in this one.
Talk about having an experienced quarter behind you. Got to give Ishins a lot of confidence. He's wrestling on the mat, but his coach is taking care of business in the corner.
Again, that powerful roll. Ishins. Coy staying with him. Attacks the lower half, drives him back down, sticks in that half. Just trying to hang on here and finish out on top is Justin McCoy, and he does that. So a real bizarre second period. We get a couple of challenges from North Carolina. They win both challenges. As a result, they get a couple of points for their wrestler, and the ACC champ down 2. And Cole and Enoch in the corner doing their part, certainly for Tyler Ishins.
McCoy is electing to go up on his feet.
You like that?
I like that idea from McCoy. I mean, he's the pace of the match is in his favor. Ishins, you can see, he's starting to back up now. He was clearly winded in those breaks. So if I'm McCoy, I'm dialing up that pressure. staying on my attack, looking for that offense. This is still a close match. All you need is a takedown. So McCoy just needs a smart setup, execute his offense like he knows how to do. Stay composed here. Still a good match for him to win. Close match for him to win.
Yeah, riding time not a factor, and with the new rules this year in college wrestling, a takedown is worth 3, and that's what McCoy is on the hunt for. Big moment here in this third period.
He's trying to isolate that leg. Looks like he's adjusting to the opposite leg for Eisens, but Eisens doing a good job here. Hips low, pushing away, keeping that body position.
McCoy launches, and just as he did, simultaneously stall tag to Eisens back into the waterfall position.
Good job here by McCoy, sucking that leg up. It's like he adjusted again. He's trying to hook that leg now. Got the bottom leg hooked, securing that top ankle. He's got to keep leaning in. If he can keep turning his hips in and pop that head out. He's got to keep pressure on that hip, though. Keep Eisens pinned down to the mat. You see he's trying to pop his head out as he's leaning forward. There's a head popping out. There's slowly climbing through. Way to take your time in that position, climb up. And you can see right now, Eisens is battling, but he's starting to gas a little bit. That fatigue setting in. So, by McCoy, keep that pressure, keep that tight waist, pressure forward. Bring this
McCoy needs to ride him out as well here for 7 seconds. If Eisens can get out, he's going to win this match, but he won't be able to. McCoy hangs on that tight waist, and we go to another sudden victory. And if you just look at the body language, it's McCoy who appears to be the fresher wrestler right now.
McCoy can definitely keep that higher pace. He's got to bring that pace right now. Be smart. Set his shots up. But Eisens definitely looks like he's uncomfortable right now. You can see right now he's coming out of position. He's a little bit high, stumbling forward. This is where you got to grind it out. You got to be tough here if you're Eisens. So let's see who can come out on top.
McCoy does it again. Virginia back-to-back wins for the Cavaliers. We used the word athleticism at the start to describe Justin McCoy. The conditioning and the athleticism earns his ticket to tonight's finals.
Solid job there by McCoy, just being persistent, just keeping that pressure high, maintaining that pace. Clutch takedown at the end. Right there, pressuring forward, single leg coming up, bringing his chest in, head high, sucking that leg up, cutting across the body, driving across, leaning in with your head, covering up for 2 points on the edge in overtime. Big win there.
.184, TJ Stewart is the top-seeded wrestler, Virginia Tech. Dylan Fishback seated third, getting laced up for the Wolfpack. Reese Heller from Pitt. He is the #2 seed, the NCAA qualifier from a year ago for the Panthers. Year 2 in the Steel City, transferring in for the start of last year after spending 3 years at Hofstra. Heller in the gray, the red and black of NC State, and Dylan Fishback.
Really like the motion so far by Fishback. The level changes. He's been heavy in the ties, hard snaps. Working that left side underhook now. Staying active.
A year ago, this weight class was the toughest in the ACC. Heller placed 4th at the ACC championships. He ended up the #16 seed at Nationals. Bunch of new names this year when you look at the field at 184 in the ACC. Heller and Kane, the 2 veterans of the bunch. Kane wrestling over on mat 2 as we speak from North Carolina.
Beautiful job there by Fishback. A little snatch single, driving into it. Way to secure your takedown. Again, he's so active in his ties. He's never just trying to hang on. He's constantly setting something up, maintaining pressure, snapping that head, looking for his angles.
Fishback arrived in Raleigh as one of the top high school wrestlers in the country. Moves like this, quickness and power.
You see that low single bringing it up to his feet, cutting across to cover that far hip.
Fishback coming off an eventful summer in which he won the gold medal at the U23 Nationals in June, then had the opportunity to travel to Poland where he earned bronze for Team USA in the Freestyle Open. Had the opportunity to wrestle with a couple of former Pac guys and Mike Machiavello and Nick Wisdowski, a couple of good ones there to have the opportunity to learn from.
Nice little ride sequence there by Fishback. It looked like Heller was trying to go for a little elevator, but Fishback kept his hips low and was just disciplined in that position. You maintain pressure, you're driving forward, but you got to keep those hips low.
Chops at the arm, cuts Heller right back down. Try on the right side of the body of Heller, wrist control on the left. Heller trying to turn and face. Fishback still with control. And there, I think they should give one to Heller, and they will. Heller able to get the escape near the edge. Good work, though, by Fishback on top. A 3-1 lead for the redshirt freshman from Aurora, Ohio.
Solid escape there by Heller. He really had to work for it, but he kept the motion going, kept getting to his feet, trying to work. You got to be stubborn in that bottom position. You're going to face these guys on top that they're going to be tough. They're going to put that pressure on you, but you got to keep the motion going. Non-stop movement, consistent movement is the key.
Gavin King, redshirt junior from Milton, Georgia, whose victory earlier today improved his record to 18-7.
So much brotherly love when you look at the ACC, and the Hellers would fall into that category with Holden and Reese. Both are very tight. Reese started wrestling when he was 8 years old. He told us his breakthrough came when he went to a club actually run by Austin Gomez's father. He had some pretty big names in the sport that he competed against in this club. Abe Assad, Keegan O'Toole, Austin O'Connor were some of the guys that were part of that club. Really looks up to his older brother Holden. Those two live together. They're training partners. They will roll around oftentimes the morning of the duel. They'll even call it crazy hours if they need to. If one feels like they need to get a quick sweat in or a quick roll around, the other always obliges. Bonus coverage, Mat 2. Virginia Tech a 4-0 lead. TJ Stewart, man, this guy has arrived in a hurry. Leading Gavin Kane. How impressed in the limited body of work have you been watching TJ Stewart?
Just his ability to explode, and his athleticism is what impresses me. He can explode in certain situations, the quickness, the athleticism. You see right there, just working through. Can't wait to see this guy as he progresses in his wrestling.
Stewart wrestled in the Southeast Open back in November, and then he did not see action until January. Came out in the App State duel. He lost to Gavin Kane in sudden victory earlier this year, 11-8. It was a high-scoring game. He's fresh off a 2-1 sudden victory win over Reese Heller, who we're watching on the left side of your screen. So Roby knew exactly what he was doing with TJ Stewart, just like he did at 25 with Flynn. Tom Crook is pacing these guys so they are not just physically prepared, but these younger wrestlers are mentally ready for the grind that March has and the toll it takes. South Carolina issuing that challenge, excuse me there, Anthony, on that last exchange.
So it looked like they're challenging the singlet crowd there. Clearly you can see Stewart, so he's got his hands clocked on that singlet in the lower right leg of Kane.
Meanwhile, action Fishback and Heller. Fishback has to be careful here, just like we saw from Holden Heller. Reese dangerous in these types of scrambles. This one called a stalemate, so we go back to the center. 59 seconds to go, second period. Kane coming back from an injury for North Carolina. His last action was February 2nd. He made his return late in the year to the lineup, wrestling the final weekend. And Rob Cole made sure he got some matches. He wrestled 7 matches at the Franklin and Marshall Scramble and also the Wildcat Open, just trying to get some reps before this ACC Championship Sunday. The tight ones as expected at 184, both sides of your screen. Fishback, the 3 seed, leading the 2 seed Heller 4-1. The top seed Stewart with a 4-2 lead on Gavin Kane. Persevering through a difficult year of injuries. He had a rough start to the season, missed the first month with an injury, came back, was injured again just as he was getting ready to really kick it into a different gear, was feeling healthy, and then injury sprang up and hit him a 3rd time, which cost him some matches in February. Trying to make it all right here in the month of March, but has some work to do, trailing by 2, 45 seconds to go.
So Stewart just keeping his defense ahead hands, controlling the ties with the heavy collars, working underhooks, circling. Just maintaining good position right here, Stewart.
Stall call to Stewart. Kane will have to keep the foot on the gas. Meanwhile, Heller and Fishback in a terrific exchange near the edge. Early stages, 3rd period. Second stall call on Stewart, and it's now 4-3. This crowd inside Carmichael. Good share of North Carolina fans making some noise, hoping the junior from Milton can find his way, and he has worked his way into 3 consecutive stall calls to tie it at 4.
Excellent job by Kane, just maintaining that pressure. Stewart's clear, just backing straight up.
And now if you're Gavin Kane, as you force a sudden victory, you want this whistle quickly. Stewart taking some time to adjust his ankle laces.
Looked like Stewart just took him off. He thought the match was done. Maybe he thought he was up by a point, but you can't shut down that offense too early. So right there, counter shot.
Comes in on the counter, and the freshman finishes for Virginia Tech. Oh, he had his back against the ropes. Showed no panic after giving up 3 consecutive stalls, and Stewart continues to put his name on the ACC map.
So right there, Stewart dropping in on those legs, the power behind it, driving through, and that's clutch. You know, be able to turn your offense on like that in a high-pressure situation. That great win for Stewart, but you know it didn't have to be that close. He had a nice lead. He just shut that offense down too early, and that's something you got to learn from. All right, go back to the drawing board, watch this match. Say, okay, you know what? I can't do that next time. I got to be smart with the lead. I got to be aware of what the time is, where I'm at in this match. Have Matt's strategy there, but solid win for Stewart.
Well, we got bricks flying all over the place. This one coming from the pick corner now, and Keith Gavin in a tight one. Oh, don't you love the month of March and the intensity that these championships bring? Every single move, every single moment, just looked at under a microscope. The intensity of this time of the year.
At this level, it comes down to those little positions. Right? You train so many days for so many hours, these little tiny positions, and that's what the crucial thing is. That's what it comes down to. Being able to execute, being able to perfect, make no mistakes in those little positions. The little mistakes are what kill you.
Takedown awarded. Pitt loses the challenge. 4-2. Fishback maintains the 2-point advantage. See the hand fight. Wim will Heller commit. Takes a submarine low shot. Nothing there. Reaches again. Nothing again.
See the head position of Fishback. Head hands defense staying low. Heller's pressing, but he's not able to get that angle right now. Straight on shots. So right there, a little drag. But
looking for an inside trip, nothing to be found. Fishback content to hold this position. That's exactly what he is going to do. And at the same time, be awarded 3 points. Able to get the takedown and control. And in back-to-back moments, we see a pair of freshmen rise to the occasion.
High-pressure situations, it's the semifinals, it's full-on attack by your opponents, but way to stay composed, right? Battle for the position. This is what you train for. Heller working on that inside trip. Nice little job there by Fishback, working the tight waist, keeping those hips low, not going for that little elevator. Covering up that far hip there for finish off with a takedown. Great match.
We go right to 197. Heavy favorite on paper is the top seed from North Carolina State, Trent Heidler. The 3 seed is Max Shaw. The 2 seed is Andy Smith, Virginia Tech. Smith and Shaw. Smith, a senior, Christiansburg, Virginia, right down the road from Blacksburg. It has produced a lot of good wrestling throughout the years. Smith, the most recent, 14-7 this year. 3-0 in the ACCs. He's won 3 matches in a row, and one of those wins was a 4-2 win against his opponent today, Max Shaw.
Keeping an eye on the tie-ups here. I know Shaw has a nice little slide by to his right side. It's like every time they tie up, he starts to maneuver his right hand, get in the position to hit it. Let's see if he can execute in this match. Beautiful job there by Shaw. And on that leg, sucking it up, cutting across. Way to keep the pressure. So right away, he's working in that top position. He secured the wrist. Looking at 2-on-1. If he can secure it to that far hip, he's in a good position. He's driving forward, keeping that weight.
Cole has been so impressed with the consistency that Shaw has showed throughout the course of this entire season. Felt he was in a really good spot physically and mentally to make a deep run today and then eventually in a couple of weeks in Kansas City. As the opening offense halfway through this first period. 2-time NCAA qualifier out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Thomas Jefferson High School.
Shaw's doing a good job. He's on his toes, keeping that weight forward. Looks like he's maneuvering. He's got the cross wrist. He's turning the spiral. That's the key thing from that top position. See, again, he's breaking Smith down to his belly. You got to maintain that top pressure. A lot of wrestlers, what they want to focus on is trying to get the turn right away, but really you need to focus on the pressure, wearing down your opponent in that bottom position. The more you can keep that pressure and maintain it, the more they start to break down, the more frustrated they get. Then they'll open up for those opportunities to score from the top position, as long as you keep that pressure from top. That's what Shaw's doing right now, keeping pressure, wearing Smith down, waiting for him to make a mistake, get that opening he wants. He's working cross wrist again right there.
finally able to get away. Not before Shaw nearly hits 2 minutes of riding time. And at 55 for Max Shaw in a 3-1 lead.
It's a good response there by Smith. He was getting ridden pretty hard, but to be able to get that escape point at the end of the first keeps you in this match.
Shaw was an ACC runner-up in 2021. His father, Christian, wrestled at Clarion. Talked about very openly his relationship with his father. He was the guy that made wrestling so popular with Max, the hands-on driving force. There was a time growing up back in Pittsburgh, PA, where football was calling. He had a lot of offers to play college football, but in the end settled on North Carolina and the sport of wrestling. North Carolina latched on to him very late out of high school due to his football success. 4-1. Early stages, period 2, as we wind down this semifinal round of the ACCs alongside three-time All-American national champion Anthony Robles. Sean Kinney, so great to have you with us. A fantastic ACC network crew here in Chapel Hill. Consolation semis, consolation finals all coming up this afternoon. And then from 2 mats, we go down to 1 in the stage and the drama of the ACC championships tonight on the ACC network.
This is Shaw circling back to center, maintaining his position in these ties, but not really initiating too much, not trying to create too much offense, any takedown attempts. Kind of comfortable with this lead right now, but you see right there, dropping down. On Shaw, keep looking for that offense, right? We know Smith is going to start opening up a little bit more. He's going to be more aggressive. That's a great opportunity for you to look for those counterattacks, but Smith has got to dial up that pressure now. Can't just hang in these ties. Find those angles.
Short time, 3 seconds, and a 4-1 lead. Shaw getting his offense in that first period. Not much in period 2. How about we bring in our 2-box view? Bonus coverage, Trent Hidley. He has been a bonus point machine this year. 19 bonus point wins in his perfect 22-0 mark. And it looks like he's on path, sniffing out more bonus points here in this semifinal, having his way with Max Stout. He's a tough customer, 9-1.
They just relentless with that pressure. We saw with his textbook underhook, working through it, the attack in the top position now, but always pressing forward. You see, again, immediately he's got his hands on his opponent. He's pressing forward. He's stalking, gaining ground. You don't allow your opponent any chance to breathe. Keep that pressure on them. You start to break them down. That's what Hidley's doing right now.
What's your initial thoughts after watching Hidley this year and his new weight bumping up at 97?
He looks great at this weight. He looks strong, he looks fast, explosive, and that's one thing, right? It's one thing to go up and weigh in for that weight class and then fill it in, but it's a whole other thing. How do you carry that weight? Is it muscle? Does it affect your conditioning? Hidley, he looks like he's carrying it extremely well. Conditioning is not a factor, as we can see. He's maintaining a high pace throughout this season, and he's just looking strong. I think this is a great move for him, and he's dominating this weight class this far.
Trent on a quest for his 4th ACC championship. He would become the 6th Wolfpack wrestler to accomplish that feat. And one of the others who has done that is his older brother Hayden, who won 4 ACC titles in his time in Raleigh.
You see his movement on those replays, on those toes, circling, pressure, throwing that underhook by.
You look at the big picture, Anthony, at this weight at 197, Aaron Brooks, who has been Hidley's nemesis throughout the years, he is ranked #1. Then Trent, #2. Michael Beard, 3rd. Jackson Smith, who took a loss to Glazier of Iowa in the Big Ten yesterday, he's at #4. So Hidley right there among the best. Getting points in a flurry right now, 15-3. Meanwhile, Shaw and Smith tight to the vest. Low scoring affair, 4-2. Again, all of Shaw's offense coming on that first period takedown. He has riding time locked as well, and Max Shaw coming off arguably his best regular season. How many times does that correlate to the postseason? Many a times, and this time it does for Shaw. He is into the finals where he will try to figure out a way to slow down the freight train that's Trent Heidley.
That's going to be a code that's very hard to crack, but great execution here by Shaw. Scored early. Great strategy, stayed disciplined in his position, slowed that match down. It was his pace. See if he can do that in the finals.
Heidley. With the riding time mounting, he is in tech ball territory. Action goes out of bounds. It was a special moment to close out Friday night duels for Trent Heidley. Final time wrestling inside his beloved palace, Reynolds Coliseum. He picked up his 100th career victory. Talked about his ACC dominance, 3 consecutive ACC titles. Try to ride out Stout. Pick up the tech ball win and some valuable bonus points for NC State, and that's exactly what he is going to do. Time and time again, whether it's a bonus point quest, whether it's a win at Nationals, in the moment when the spotlight is the brightest, Trent Heidley delivers.
Love watching Heidley wrestle. He's going out there to dominate, not just win, not just to compete, going out there to dominate every single position, score points.
Final weight of the afternoon here in the semifinal session, 285. Owen Treffin, North Carolina State. Dayton Pitzer, he is healthy, back for the Panthers. We have Hunter Katka and Ryan Katka. It is the Katka family in the blue ring here in Chapel Hill. The right march into the finals tonight. Ryan and Hunter Katka. How many times in the Katka household did this match happen? In the kitchen or in the living room, in the bedroom, cracks in the wall, broken lamps, you name it.
Hate to have to break that matchup.
I would not. Offensive opportunity for Hunter Katka, and nothing yet. There it is, the 3. The redshirt junior. Katka brothers growing up in Brookhaven, Pennsylvania, Sun Valley School. Hunter's had a really good season, 4-0 in the ACCs. They did not wrestle him against North Carolina State. They went with the freshman Mullen. 4-0 this year in ACC duels. And you look at Katka, losses to Zach Elam, Luis Fernandez, Lucas Davidson at the team. Two-time NCAA qualifier, 3-1 lead. Second time these two brothers have met this year. Hunter won the first time in the duel, 8-4. Situation here where you're not going to surprise anyone. So it just comes down to execution. Who can execute better?
He's going to be the one that's going to take the chances. And that's off to Hunter getting that first takedown on the edge of the mat. Just the mat awareness there, being able to be strong enough to pull that thing in, those double legs in and finish. He's got his lead right now. Let's see if he's willing to open up some more. He's working that left side underhook, going for the throw by.
I asked Tony Roby earlier this year, where's Hunter Katka grown the most? And he simply said his biggest improvement is not making the mistakes of the past. cleaning up his game, if you will. Finished third at last year's ACCs. He was a runner-up in 2021. He took a redshirt year in between, redshirted in 22. That's when Virginia Tech brought in the transfer Nathan Traxler from the West Coast, the Stanford heavyweight. That gave Hunter a chance to take advantage of a redshirt year, and he came back strong last season. Made it to nationals, but had a tough time getting to his offense with 0-2 in Tulsa. A 3-1 lead for Hunter through one period. We have a little break here as they flip the disc. Second period coming up. I'm just curious, so far from the body of work that you've seen today, the opening round and these semifinals, what stood out to you so far?
Well, really, it's just a lot of matches that went into overtime, and there's a little positions, right? The battles, guys are tired, they're achy, they're sore. It's been a long season, but how bad do you want it? This is what you train for all season long, and so to see these guys, for it to come down to one situation, one position, that's crucial, right? Those are the little areas that you need to work in the wrestling room, the little details that are going to make the big difference, especially at this level. Like we mentioned, everybody's good, right? Everybody's talented, but it's those little adjustments that you are willing to make along the way, those little learning moments that you take advantage of that make all the difference. So that's what stuck out to me, is those close matches, the Invaders coming on top with one key position that they won by being disciplined, by working through the position and just flowing.
The ACC allotted 28 automatic spots for today's tournament. They're hoping to improve that number and get several at-large additions as well. Leg elevated, trip executed, 3 points awarded for Hunter Katka.
See the counter wrestling there by Hunter. Dropping down right away, seizing that opportunity to sink in on that leg, bring it up to his feet, starting to build up on his lead now. Being patient, seeing your openings, and then jumping on them.
Not bringing by the coaches and not by the coaches to line up an RPI. It was 13 by Internet and 12 by Flow at 285.
Katka away, 6'3".
So Ryan's got some good offense on his feet. He's got a number of ways he can score, high C's, sweep singles. He's just got to get that offense dialed up a little bit more. He's kind of hanging in the ties. You see now he's being more active, working the snaps, trying to find the angle, some fakes. He's got to be willing to pull that trigger, really commit to something. He's still in this match. One takedown's going to tie it up.
Takedown in the first period, another takedown here in the second period, and Hunter Katka leading by 3.
They start the third period at neutral.
In the battle of the Katka brothers, Virginia Tech. Let's take a sneak peek over on mat number 2 with our 2-box view, and the top seed, the defending ACC champion, Owen Treffin. Out in front of Dayton Pitzer, 6-3. Just great to see Pitzer back competing after the shoulder injury that he sustained wrestling Mr. Schultz of Arizona State earlier this year.
That's some good defense there by Pitzer. It looked like Trevor was really close to scoring that small go behind, but that's how you're stubborn. Stubborn in those situations. Keep circling, squaring up those hips. Didn't give up the points there.
Pitzer won a low-scoring bout earlier in the day over Connor Barquette of Duke, 1-0. Treffin, really over the last couple of years, year and a half, 2 years, he has been one of the higher-scoring heavyweights in the country. He can put up a lot of points, and that was a focus this offseason. He felt he was a little too conservative last year at Nationals. That has not been the case over the past few months here in this regular season, and now in his first match of this championship tournament, putting up 6 on a tough customer like Dayton Pitzer. Plus he has over 1.5 minutes of riding time. Pitzer running out of time.
Treffin's doing a good job of just pressing forward, staying head-to-head. You see he controls the wrist, working collars, and then when he's in the snaps, he's kind of heavy-handed with those hard snap downs. Right? He's clearing the tie, working that head, staying in the center. He's doing what he needs to do to get this win, but also wrestling smart at the same time, keeping that defense up.
Strong semifinal round for North Carolina State. They will close it with an exclamation point from their big heavyweight Owen Treffin with riding time, a 7-3 win. Treffin to the finals for NC State. We key in on the Katka brothers, how this one will finish. Discussion from both corners and a view and a trip over to the replay table. Hunter Katka arrived in Blacksburg. When Hunter Katka arrived at Virginia Tech, he was 225 pounds, now up around 250. It was a big thing that he utilized. The red shirt was just trying to add some muscle and bulk to compete in this heavyweight division, and he certainly has done that. Big, imposing figure.
He carries that muscle really well. You can see he's just strong in his ties, strong in positioning, but that's just dedication, right? Like, come up with that strategy with your coaches. Is it the weight you need to dedicate yourself to? Is it in the wrestling room? Is it the mental part of it? There's so many different aspects to being a successful wrestler, but you got to be willing to commit to all of them, you know, to compete at this level and be successful at it. So.
Hunter was one of the top heavyweight recruits in the country back in the class of 2020, and it was because of his body of work in high school. He won a couple of Pennsylvania state championships, back the first Delaware County athlete to win 2 PA state titles. So he arrived with certainly some lofty expectations. Opportunity to wrestle Ryan, both as ACC foes for the first time, when Ryan made the decision to leave the Naval Academy and join Steve Garland in Charlottesville. Final round. They get McCoy back into the finals, and then Nick Hamilton, maybe the surprise of the day from his 4 seed, a chance to wrestle for an ACC title at 165 later tonight. Back to action here. Hunter Katka bears down on that left leg. Had the double for a moment. Now curls his way back around to both. Scramble continues here.
Ryan, excellent job there. Rolling through. He's coming up high. He's got to turn into that leg. Stalemate there.
Ryan trying to slip his way through the back door, unable to do so. 20 seconds.
See those heavy hips of Hunter stuffing that attack. Good job by Hunter, just maintaining position through this match, finding his time to execute, get those takedowns. Solid win.
Back and forth, body blow to body blow. NC State, Virginia Tech, both teams punching several wrestlers into the finals tonight. You see the brothers come together. A big hug for Hunter and Ryan Katka, and it is Hunter moving in to the ACC finals tonight.